guys, my name is Beth Garrett. I live in Tallahassee, Florida. I've lived here for the past 23 years with my husband Jimmy, my son JW, and my youngest son Seth. We're originally from a little place called Nashville, Georgia, but now we call Florida home. So I wanted to show you a couple of things, show you a few hobbies I have, and as you can see, here's one of them. Me and my husband like to ride our bike. We're not, don't look like the typical biker people, but we love it. So come on in and I'll show you a few things in the house. Here's a couple more things that I like to do. I like to do stained glass. Kind of got into that a couple years ago with one of my girlfriends, and it just kind of shows you got to have patience, got to have a little bit of skill, and it kind of follows through in your cake decorating. So come on in. Okay, now here we are in my workspace. Just wanted to show you a little bit. Got the KitchenAid mixer over there, all my tools here. This is for when I do my cakes at home. I do a majority of them at home, but I do work at Publix supermarkets. I'm a cake decorator. On the weekends, I work full-time for the county, so I have a 40-hour-a-week job, and then I do what I really love on Saturdays, which is baking and decorating cakes. So now I'm going to show you just a little bit, hopefully some of my skills, see what I can do. I'm going to put on the apron, because I always got my apron on. And if you get a close-up, this was given to me by my youngest son, who is a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps. Alrighty. I was going to show you another little thing. Back when I first got started, I was doing cakes for my kids because we just didn't have a whole lot of money. I wanted to make sure that they had, a cake like everybody else or something special for their birthday party. And I did all of my cakes with this very spatula. This little bitty guy. And I showed the girls at work the other day and they were like, "No way are you decorating cakes with that thing." And I'm like, yeah, I decorated a ton of cakes for a ton of people and there's a ton of love. Okay guys, I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Do a little decorating, see what we come up with. Gonna do little roses. There you go. Voila. 3 seconds to spare. Yeah. Back over here. Turn down. Oh, by the way, that was not 3 seconds. That was 3 minutes I had left. So, oops, my bad. But here we go. My finished product, a little cake. Hope you enjoy. now that I've shown you just a little bit, maybe a little few of my skills there, I got a bunch more. So, you know, if I make it to the final round, I can show you what all I got. So now, you know, you've seen my hobbies a little bit, but I've got a few more to show you. So I'm gonna walk you over here and show you a few things that I do. I'll hang my apron up. Here's a couple little things. Like the cross stitch, takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. Just like with cakes, you gotta have patience, you gotta have a little talent. A little more stained glass. And two of my greatest hobbies. This is my oldest son Jay and my youngest son Seth. These are probably my most favorite hobbies. Well, I know they are. Cake decorating is pretty awesome, but having two wonderful kids is even better. Now I'm going to show a little bit of my competitive side. And if you notice, see my shirt? I've got on my Florida shirt, Go Gators. You know, we're here in Seminole country, so you got to be competitive to live in here with all these Seminoles. It's actually a Seminole behind the camera fixing to go down.
Seminoles.
Boo. Alright, here we go.
Alright, let's do it. We're doing a little slapjack.
Yeah.
Ready?
Go.
You go.
I mean, oh. See, I wasn't ready.
Ah!
Yeah. What's you next? Okay, there we go. We're a little rusty,
Oh!
There I was,
Go.
trying to cheat.
I gotta keep it in the camera.
Here we go. Nah, got her all excited.
Where'd the jacks go?
I don't know, I dealt the deck. Oops.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Just do it.
Again. Hey.
Well.
Ooh. It's getting intense,
They're all gonna be at the end.
I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna win.
There are no jacks.
Okay, there are no jacks in our game. Okay, I guess now it's a little Q&A time.
So tell us about your cake business. How did you get started? How long in the business? And just a little brief history about it.
Okay. My love of baking started when I was a little girl. I remember being at my grandmother's house and she could cook anything, do anything, and I kept thinking, gosh, I want to be like her. And the first thing I ever learned was how to make biscuits. So that's not really any cake decorating, but you know, that's where my love of baking came from. So when I had my kids, you know, I thought, gosh, I want to make sure that we don't have a whole lot of money, but I want them to have at least have a nice birthday party with a nice cake. So I started out with the old star tip, made a ton of cakes with it, and the little spatula that you saw earlier. And then it just kind of grew from there. The more people came to the party, saw the cake, so like, oh, can you do that one for my kid? Can you do this? Can you do that? People call me, you know, on Thursday and say, hey, can you make a cake for my child on Friday? And I'm like, okay, sure. And then it kind of blossomed into, as our family started growing, everybody started getting married, and of course, who's the first person they call? Me. They're like, hey, can you make our cake? Can you make our wedding cake? So it's just kind of blossomed from there. And like I said earlier, you know, I work at the supermarket decorating cakes, which just kind of, you know, keeps my talents going.